Hello, my name is Tips at the Tavern. I am here to tell you guys how to walk through the game. The DLC has just come out not too long ago, and I am here to show you how to go through the base game and how to go through the DLC. The DLC is a lot later on, so if you're coming here hoping for a DLC, you're gonna have to wait for a couple of episodes for that. So, you just bought the game, you're here because you want to know how to create your character. What I would recommend for your creating starter class, you should choose Vagabond. If you want something that's hands-on, weaponry like swords, shields, stuff like that, Vagabond is the best choice. There's other ones, there's stuff for magic, incantations, but just Vagabond is the all-around best. I always start out with Vagabond, and for what you should do, keepsake. Keepsake is you get to bring something along with you. You can choose none. There's really no point in doing that unless you're just an idiot. Crimson Emerald Medallion. It increases your maximum HP slightly. It's a little bit, not much. I believe it's around 5%. Lands Between Rune. It gives you a lot of money when you pop it. Golden Seed. You can use it to upgrade your healing items, like your HP and something called FP you use for magic. If you want to be able to use this, you'll be able to get an extra healing item at the beginning of the game. There's enough golden seeds in the game where there's enough to get 14 that's the maximum. So this is kind of worthless. You're gonna have one extra golden seed later down the road. Okay. Fanged Imp Ashes. There are things in this game, they're new to the Souls-like series. It's the ashes. You can summon these in a boss fight, or whenever there's an icon on the screen, it tells you that you can summon these guys and they will help you in that area. Cracked Pot. You use it to throw a container of like fire, explosive, ice, poison. Stone Sword Key. This is the one I will be picking. There's not enough of these to open every door in the world, so these are incredibly useful to have as much of them as possible. What it does is unlocks a special door. The Bewitching Branch. You can hit someone with it, and they will attack for you. Just to let you know, they can still hit you, and you can still hit them. But this will make it so they mainly aggro onto another enemy. So an enemy attacks an enemy. That's usually good. Boiled Prawn. This, you eat it, it reduces damage taken for, I think, around a minute, a bit more. I don't really have the exact things. Shibiri's Woe. If you're new to this game, do not take that. You use this, it makes enemies know where you are quicker. They'll always know exactly where you are, well, most of the time. So, finish. If you want to change your name, change your body type, base template, all those things, that's up to you. You can change them all the way you want. I'm not going to go through any of the cutscenes here, because I'm trying to do this as quick as possible to get this out for people who need it. This most likely will not get that many views, but it's still something. Ring of Mikla. I don't think that appears unless you have the DLC. So just put that in mind. Okay. That thing I just picked up, I believe that, I don't actually think I've ever used it. Yeah, you use that to write messages. I'm gonna see if I can find one. I don't think there's any messages here, but you use that to write a message to someone. Okay. There's nothing here except for that one item and through here. I'm going to try and beat this guy. I've never been able to. I'm not the best Elden Ring player. This guy is the Grafted Scion. He is pretty much, you're supposed to die to this guy. If you don't, you get a lot of money, and you get his weapon and shield. I am most likely going to be getting killed here. If you don't want to fight him, you can just jump off a cliff. You really don't need to fight this guy. I'm trying to. It's also better just to get practice. There we go. Okay, so that guy, His weapons and stuff aren't really that good. I wouldn't recommend using them. They are not that helpful. There you go. These are the flax I was talking about for the golden seed. You use this, and you're able to drink them. The red one does HP, and the blue one does FP. FP is used for casting magic, skills, and stuff. Alright? Right now, I'm going to keep them both here. They're both incredibly useful. Even if you don't use magic, the blue one is still useful unless you have something that gives you FP over time. Here, if you play it back, if you weren't paying attention, I fell down the hole, and I'm now in here. This is the Cave of Knowledge. This is kind of just the real tutorial area. I gave you a bunch of tutorials. Yes, a lot of tutorials. Okay, just come up here. Oh yeah, materials. This is also a new thing they've added to the game. Crafting. I don't have it yet. You actually need to buy it. I will show you how to buy it soon. I'm running past all the enemies. It's recommended if you're completely new to this game or in any Dark Souls game or From Software at all, it's recommended to actually fight all these enemies just to experience it if it's your first playthrough. Elden Ring is by far the easiest and hardest From Software game in the whole bunch. Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Sekiro is a good second hardest. Elden Ring, it is more just, it's so different from the others because the jump button is its own thing. Here, Soldier of Godric. I'll get back to what I was talking about later. Soldier of Godric. It's just a basic enemy. If you can't kill him, you're gonna have a lot of fun. Boom, one thing, and he's I missed him. Gone. Bye bye. I'm a little worried. How in the world did these people get killed by that dude? I fought that dude like 7 times. Alright. Up here, for doing that, you get the strength gesture. Really not important in any way, shape, or form. It's there just to be there. Right. These doors, you spawn right over there. You can just walk over here. You don't need to go through the Cave of Knowledge if you don't want to. Okay. So, Elden Ring is harder and easier at the same time. It's very different because it has jumping, crouching, it has riposting, I forgot exactly what it's called. So if you guard and someone hits you, you can then attack to do extra damage. This thing, the Stone Sword key, I'm not going to use it on here, but this is where you use the Stone Sword key that I recommended you get. They're good because there's a lot of those kind of things around, and there's not enough of them in the base game to be able to collect every single one of them. And just to let you know, I will not be going through every boss, every dungeon. I will going through what the average person would be going through. If a normal person in a normal playthrough wouldn't notice that it's there or wouldn't do it, I'm not going to do it. There are a few things I will do just for the sake of making things easier. What I would recommend doing, this dude, if you want to access the DLC, this guy is partially important. Exhaust his dialogue until he starts repeating himself. Okay, yes. What he does is his questline will give you something called the Pure Blood Knight's Medal. That will take you to the area where... Yeah, okay, now he's now repeating himself. So, that guy, if you do his quest, he will give you a medal. What the medal does is it takes you to the boss, or well, the area where the boss is located. You kill this boss and you access the DLC. Okay, so I'm going to be doing his quest and probably a few others. I'll not be going through a bunch. This guy. that guy right there, that is the tree sentinel. It is recommended right now to not fight him. I will not be fighting him right now, but I will eventually, because his weapon, for, to be honest, noobs, for people who do not know how to play the game, who are very bad at the game, his weapon is probably the best. I used his weapon throughout the entire game. It is incredibly helpful. Okay, what I just picked up from that little stand right there was a golden rune. You can pop that, and I think you get around 4. I'm gonna see how much exactly the crafting kit costs. Talk to this guy. This is Kale, the merchant. Yeah. So if you killed the soldier of Godric, you get 400 runes, so you can buy the crafting kit.
Goodbye.
What the crafting kit does is make it so you can craft all these things. This is just the base stuff you have right now. All these things are incredibly, well, not incredibly important, but they all have their things. If you want to know what they all do, I'd recommend just you doing it on your own. I'm not going to go through everything. That is not... I almost lost the rest of my runes. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, there's a good thing to do every time. I call it the Rena run. What you do is you run past all these guys, the majority of them at least. There's a few things we're grabbing on the way. We're grabbing, I think, some curies, just knives. Those they're right here. They're not that important. I just grab them because they're on the way. And you pick up any of these earthly flowers as well. These things are also incredibly important if you want to do multiplayer. If you want to do multiplayer with me, well, you're going to have to be incredibly lucky. Okay. So, right over here. Please don't. I think he's gonna. No. Okay, that's good. Down here. All the way I did. There's a shortcut, but I just went the long way. Don't really know why. But down here, I think it's called just the web blade. What it does is it makes it so you can put, adding skills. You can, the whetstone knife. What that does is make it so you can add affinities and skills to your weapon. So like, I have a skill, it's called Charge Force with my halberd. If you want to know what it does, you should probably use it yourself. I'm not going to be explaining everything in this walkthrough, even though it is a walkthrough. This is kind of a bare bones walkthrough. I'm going through what... Okay, here, that's a flail. We're going to be using that soon to do something. Well, technically not soon, but we are going to be doing it. We can do something that gets you around 60 to 75,000 runes every time. So it's recommended. Don't kill me, please. Okay, Lord Storm Greatsword. That is kind of just a basic greatsword. It's kind of good, but the flail was the main thing you wanted there. Don't get too close. Don't get too close. Yes. Okay, here. There's going to be a cutscene, and this girl's going to show up. Now you have unlocked leveling. You are now able to level up your character. I don't think I have enough. Click accept when the pop-up shows up in that spectral seed whistle. You now have your horse, because this is an open world game. You unlock cool things. Leveling up, I don't have enough to level her up right now, but we will eventually get a lot of money to level up. What I always recommend doing, okay, switch in the little hot bar, and boom, you do the speed whistle. So it'll be, I'm playing on PlayStation, it is on the up arrow. Okay, over here, grab this map fragment if you have, come on, grab it. Grab that if you haven't already, and then we're going to make our way back here to the Church of Ella. This is the Rena run, as I said before. So you get yourself skill upgrading. You also get yourself whatchamacallit, your steed. You get a map for the basic area, and you also get a few other little tiny things. And one of them is used to get a lot of levels really quick. Okay. See, now we have act. This is the whole world. Come on now. Yes. This girl will show up. What you do, you talk to her, and what you do, I can call the spectral steed, sorry. Yeah, she'll give you that, and now you have access to spirit summoning. You can leave, and then just rest the grace. Nothing bad will happen if you don't continue talking to her. Now what I do is I stick my spirit ashes down there, so they're always on hand. Okay, so I'm now going to be doing two things. A cave dungeon and a catacomb dungeon, just to show you what they're like. This game has a bit of a problem with reusing things. Okay. Okay. Alright, I gotta go do something. I'll be right back, but right here. You saw where I was going? Okay? You saw I'm going to touch this grace, and I will be right back in a little bit. See ya. Hello guys, I am back. I'm sorry I had to take a little break. I had to go do something, but I am back now. So, where were we? Yes, we were here in a cave. Caves are very different from catacombs. Those are the two things in the game, I believe. I may be mistaken. There's a lot of different kinds of things in caves. Some same, some different. Most have enemies that could cause a little bit of problem, but for right now, you can fight all these enemies at your leisure. I am avoiding them because I have fought them before, and I really just don't want to again. This cave is incredibly short. It's kind of just a tutorial on what to expect. So here, you see that symbol above your skill? That little gate thing? That means you are able to use your spirit summons. And I'm using them to attack this guy. This guy is the Beastman of Faramazula. He becomes just a basic enemy later in the game. There's nothing special about this dude. So I'll kill him and I'll tell you what the rewards are. Ow. These dogs, you get them from Rena, or Ronnie, as her real name is. That's just her weird name. Okay, here. You get the Flame Drake Talisman. I don't think I have it. Yeah. This boosts fire damage negation. I'm going to return to entrance. That's what these things of blue light do. It's either at the end of a dungeon or after you've beaten the boss of that dungeon. That's when those appear. Okay. Now, I have shown you what a cave is. That's the Grove side cave. Seen before, you should know how to get to that. And now, I will show you how to get to and beat the catacomb type of level. I will not be going through all of them as not to spoil your first playthrough, but you see these things? What you do is you tap on them, and that light that shows you it points exactly to where the catacomb is. So it also shows up on your map, so it says it's pointing in that direction right there. So you mark it, and a little waypoint will appear on your map. And I'm going to go exactly to that waypoint. And what do you know? There it is. Alright. This, as well, is incredibly short. This is just the, Stormfoot Catacombs. This shows you how catacombs work out. So what you're going to need to do is, if you want to fight the boss of a catacomb, you're going to need to pull a lever. That level, that lever will, ow, that lever will unlock a big hefty door in the thing. Let's see if it's, yeah, this door. It'll unlock this door. You see that statue right up there? That is the lever we're going to need to push. So we're going to have to get to that and pull it. Alright. Oh, watch out for these things. These fire things can be a bit of a headache if you don't know how to deal with them. We can smack them once and they will go down. You can jump up on them. What I've also learned is there is something. It's called Margit and or Moog's Shackle. What those do is normally in a boss fight against those two enemies, that's going to be their name, it'll stun them for a little bit of time. Oh, big damage. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, don't die. Uh-oh. Oh! Those guys are in pretty much every single catacomb. There's different variations of them. They're all annoying to deal with. But as I was saying, I'm all the way back here. What the Margit Shackle and or Moog Shackle does is they usually stun a boss. But what they also do is all these things, like these fired things, it actually knocks them down. It gets rid of illusory walls. And if there's any kind of roll into effects, like if you can get rid of something by rolling or jumping onto it, that's what they can do. So yeah, Margit Shackle, I'll be showing you how to get it just because of how quick and easy it is to get. Okay, yeah, this thing. You pull this lever of the little skeleton person holding a lamp, and that will unlock the area's boss. I believe it is a watchdog. Yes, it is a watchdog. These guys can be sporadic. You can see how they walk. They're kind of annoying. Oh, dang it. These guys would move like you would expect from a walking statue. They're very sporadic and they can float. He's flying. No, please do not down this guy. There we go. Okay. So, from that you get the Noble Sorcerer Ashes. It is bad. Do not use those things. The wolves are a million times better. I'm going to be showing you how to get everything that I usually get from a playthrough. Okay. I'm going to, get all map fragments. I'm going to kill every remembrance boss. And I'm going to kill every major boss in the game. Okay, so up here, there's a few things. I don't know if this... I just call it the Stormhill Ledge. If it has a name, it'll pop up on the screen. These things, these gold sapling trees, they have golden seeds on them. If you remember, that's what makes it so you can have more flasks. Up here is a site of grace. And I'm going to level up. If you've killed those two enemies, you're going to have a little chunk of stuff to level up with. I'm going to put it all into vigor. And it wasn't that much. Over here, this girl is incredibly important. She has a tiny quest if you want to do it. I say it's important. What we need to do first is talk to her. She's going to give us a gesture and the jellyfish spirit ashes after a little while. Yeah, this guy is really not that good, but he's good for beating the first two main bosses in the game. So, what happens now is I'm going to keep the things on, but the jellyfish I will use in the first two main bosses. They're both incredibly easy to poison, and that's what she does. And now what we're going to do is go over here. There's some stuff over here I need to get. Alright. One thing that's good to know is if you're loosely following this guide, if you're not following it to its full extension, going everywhere I go, doing everything I do, is far right, far east of me, this way, is a place called Caelid. That is an endgame place. You do not go there until I say. This guy, Bernal, he is moderately important to say my faith holds firm, and he will sell you some skills. Most of these skills are okay, there's nothing wrong with them. They all have their part, but the two that are kind of important is parry and no skill. Those two are very important. Do not kill him. One good thing to know is if you do kill him, if you just want to, he will drop his bell bearing, which is how you have access to his shop even after he dies, and a legendary weapon. Now what we're going to do is go this way. I'm going to be getting a talisman. If you go this way, there's going to be a guy. He will invade you. His name is Herod or something. I believe that's his name. But what you're going to have to do is when you kill him, you're going to get a talisman that if someone's blocking like this with a shield, they lose more stamina when blocking. So it's good. This dude is not relatively challenging, but if you do dot him, I do not think he respawns. You get one chance to kill him, and to be honest, that's probably really much all you really need. This guy is a pushover, if you know what you're doing. And I'm guessing you guys probably don't, so do be a little cautious when trying to kill him. But as you can see, he's incredibly staggerable. And there we go. He is dead, and he drops, I think, that hammer. Yes, the hammer talisman. I'm going to be using that over the flame drake. It enhances stamina, reducing attacks against blockers. So if someone's blocking you with anything, a shield, a weapon, stuff like that, they will take more stamina damage. Okay, I'm going to cross here. I'm going to walk in a little bit. Yeah, I'm not going to go over this. This is PvP. I'm giving you a walkthrough of the PvE. Okay. That's all we're going to do for right now. What I'm going to do now is go in the opposite direction. going to turn around and go this way. We're going to now go a fair bit ways away. We're going to start a guy named Alexander the Warrior Jar's quest line. His quest is really easy to do. There's a lot of missable things he can give you, but as long as you start it, it kind of finishes itself. As long as you do a few certain things. Over here, this is a different quest line. He's really not that important. All he does is alter your armor. But I'm going to start it just to show you that he's here.
What'd you go and do that for?
When I first played the game, I spent maybe 30 minutes trying to figure out who was yelling at me. In the end, I quit.
When they so this is all hope.
He gives you 10 mushrooms. Really not that important, but it's something.
Right.
So what I'm going to do now is leave him. His quest is really easy to do and also really easy to mess up. Okay. So now we're going this way. What we're going to do is, first I'm going to show you something. Do not, yeah, you see that bonfire? Do not go near it. That will spawn a dragon, which right now at his level 0 weapon is really not that fun to fight. Over here is what we're here for. Over here is another kind of dungeon, a mine, or I think it's just, yeah, a tunnel. What these are is, these tunnels are good if you're trying to find smithing stones and somber smithing stones. Those are both incredibly useful when upgrading. They're mandatory. These things, these orange things, they're normal smithing stones. The white ones, on the other hand, are somber smithing stones. Those are upgrading things from level... Ow. Okay, we get it. Quit. We are not going to talk about that. That never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. That never happened. So yeah, the yellows for normal stuff. From basic weapons like this halberd I'm using, we use normal smithing stones. The one annoying thing is, normal smithing stones, you must level up 25 times before they're fully upgraded. Somber weapons, on the other hand, you must only level up, I think, 10 times. I believe that's right. I believe up there was actually the boss, but I'm going down here just to get a few more smithing stones. Yeah. Dogs. Oh, dog. Oh, how you have to hate them. And you're maybe wondering why I'm not fighting these guys. I mainly avoid enemies just because I've already fought them, but these guys especially, they have a special thing where, since they're made of stone or something, any poking weapons and slashing weapons will bounce off of them, so you'll be kind of just stuck there, dumbfounded for a few seconds. Up here. This is where you're supposed to go. Okay. This guy, the Stone Digger Troll. Again, this is another pretty much a pushover boss. I did not just... First try. I'm going to first try him. We know this. Man, I wonder why the door's open. That's strange. Okay, looks like someone died here. Idiot. And push over. First try. I'm gonna first try every boss in this game, and you know it. Yeah. I have never lied. Okay. So, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to make it to a grace on the other side. And then I'm going to call it a day for this video. Because in total, this is going to be a moderately long video, even after I edit it. So, yeah. A nice thing about these squirt dudes, you see these guys? You hit them with some poison daggers. If you inflict poison on them, they explode. Ooh. Fun fact. I'm so helpful, aren't I? Subscribe, please. I need it. One thing I would like to warn is, one, I have never, never, edited a video. I've actually posted a few videos. They all were incredibly bad. And so, but I use a, PlayStation editing software called Share Factory. So if my edits aren't that good, that's why. But okay. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you've enjoyed what I've showed you. I don't like being those guys, but like, subscribe if you wish to learn more about my content and every content I'm putting on. This would actually be my first video uploading on this channel. So, hopefully you've enjoyed it. Have a good day.
All systems are go for liftoff.